Victor, there we go. Thank you, Victor. Sorry about that. It's 9:30, Friday, June 6th. It's a regular meeting of the Board of Commissioners of Lorain County. Let us start with a pledge to the flag. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Riddell.
Here.
Commissioner Moore.
Here.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Here.
We have a quorum. Today we have two proclamations, the first being proclaimed June as Responsibility Fatherhood Month, and Amy Price, Administrator of CSEA, is here for that one. And then following that will be proclaimed June 15th as World Elder Abuse. Chantel Dewsbury, Supervisor APS, is here.
Good morning. The commissioners are going to read you most of this proclamation, but obviously these two subjects are very germane to Lorain County, both as our historically, and then secondly as a matter of our aging county due to quality lifestyles and better medicine. So the first one, in the matter of June as Responsible Fatherhood Month in Lorain County. Whereas fathers play an essential role in the lives of their children, providing love, guidance, protection, and support. Whereas responsible fatherhood is fundamental to strong families and thriving communities, helping to ensure the emotional well-being and success of children. Whereas fathers who are actively engaged in their children's lives contribute to better outcomes in education, health, and social development. Whereas promoting responsible fatherhood includes encouraging positive parenting practices, providing access to resources and support for fathers, recognizing the diversity of fatherhood in all of its forms, biological, adoptive, stepfathers, and father figures. And whereas recognizing the contributions of fathers fosters a deeper appreciation for their efforts and encourages a culture that supports engaged and responsible parenting. Whereas Responsible Fatherhood Month is a time to celebrate dedicated fathers, showcase providers that provide resources and services promoting fatherhood, and increase public awareness of the crucial role of fathers. Now therefore be it resolved, Lorain County Board of Commissioners do hereby proclaim June 2025 as Responsible Fatherhood Month. Witnessed our signatures this 6th day of June 2025. Did you want to make some remarks?
Amy? Or
Absolutely. That's the only place you can.
also state your name and address.
Good
Work
morning,
address.
Commissioners.
Work address is fine.
Work address, Amy
Yeah.
Price, Lorain County Children's Services Child Support Office, 42, what's my address?
8-5.
42485 North Ridge Road, Elyria 44035. I just wanted to say today that Mr. Cabot has joined us, and we are now working to bring a fatherhood initiative into the Child Support Office. As some early engagement programs. We're seeking a grant with the state to do that. So we will be working more hand on hand with fathers. Right now, we do currently work with Passages with their Fatherhood Initiative program and our Seek Work program, and that's been a positive for us. Over the last 2 years, we've seen a significant increase in current collections of support and a decrease in our arrearages account. So we are seeing more engagement. And we are looking for ways to increase that and increase fatherhood, the fatherhood initiative that the state recognizes, and bring it forward, more forward in Lorain County.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you have our attention. I think between the three of us, we're close to 10 children, I think.
That we know of.
That might be you guys.
That's probably not appropriate.
I was gonna say,
Sorry.
that'd be front page news.
Sorry. That was probably not appropriate.
Trying to get out of the picture.
No such luck. You can coerce Mr. Cabot to join you if you want.
Come on, Mr. Cabot.
Okay. Yes, this is good. Thank you very much.
He's gotta read it first.
Oh, okay.
In the matter of proclaiming June 15th as World Elder Abuse Awareness Day in Lorain County, Ohio. Whereas Lorain County seniors are valued members of society and it is our collective responsibility to ensure that they live safely and with dignity. And whereas in 2024, Lorain County's Adult Protective Services Unit investigated 526 reports of abuse, neglect, and/or exploitation of older adults. It is estimated that only 1 in 10 incidents of elder abuse is actually reported. As our population ages, the incidence of elder abuse can only be expected to increase. Whereas combating abuse of older people will help improve the quality of life for all seniors across the country and will allow seniors to continue to live as independently as possible and contribute to the life and vibrancy of Lorain County. Whereas Lorain County seniors are guaranteed that they will be treated with respect and dignity to enable them to continue to serve as leaders, mentors, volunteers, and important and active members of our community. Whereas the well-being of Lorain County seniors is in the interest of all and further adds to the well-being of all Ohio communities, now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Lorain County, Ohio, that we hereby proclaim June 15th, 2025, World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, and encourage all Lorain County citizens to recognize and celebrate the accomplishments of our seniors in Lorain County, Ohio.
Good morning.
Good
and
morning.
Thank you. So I usually like to just talk about what we kind of see here. So that 526 cases was handled by, actually, we had a skeleton crew last year, between 2 and 3 workers. We currently now have 5 full-time workers, and I have 1 intake specialist, and that is our whole entire team plus myself. 2024, I actually did see a lower amount of calls that came in. It was 1,521, with of course knowing that we investigated 526 of that. Reason why we don't take all of them is sometimes they are underage, they're not of 60, they don't have an impairment, or there's another agency that's more responsible to handle that investigation, like nursing home, ombudsman, state of health department, or DD, Murray Ridge. Prior years, we've usually had close to 3,000 calls, and we have taken close to 700 investigations during that time. Right now, it seems like my numbers are going to reflect what I normally see. Right now, in 2025, from the beginning of the month, or the beginning of the year, I apologize, I've seen about 1,000 calls already. The increased statewide rates of elder abuse, of neglect, and exploitation. We took Ohio, 38,000 reports, and we have shown that there's been an increase of neglect by 14%, abuse 18%, and nearly 34% in exploitation. Exploitation nationwide, it is costing our seniors $36.5 billion. There's an estimate of about 200,000 cases in Ohio expected that people are being abused or neglected. We were only able to reach 38,000, which is the reason why we try to bring awareness to this so that we get people to contact us so that we could try to reach more people. These elders are suffering in silence. The longer they are socially isolated in their situation, it is just as detrimental to their health as if they were smoking for 15 years. And because of that, it's why I, myself, my team, we are very passionate, and we will continue to fight this, even on a skeleton crew, because we want to make sure that we are helping everyone in our county to make sure that they do have their dignity, they're protected, whether that is from the abuse. The increase of physical abuse lately, it's heartbreaking. The increase of exploitation, I don't even know how to handle it anymore. The self-neglect cases of the cute little grandma that was just slightly demented, those don't exist anymore. These are complex. I've had more police involvement, and it's getting more serious. But we will continue to be here and serve this county. Questions?
Thank you.
Yeah. How do people reach out? As dealing with this in the past myself with dementia and other issues, it's almost very difficult to find that path, to say, hey, we need help in Lorain County. So this is what this whole proclamation is about, is an awareness. And so how do the public reach out to get a hold of you?
So our number has not changed in, I don't know how many years, so it is 440-284-4465. That would be the number you call for a Lorain County intake. If you're not appropriate for us, it's an information and referral. My intake, she is fabulous. She will guide you to where you need to go.
Okay.
We will actually make the referral if it is necessary for Murray Ridge or for Ombudsman or for the state of Ohio. We are responsible for those. We make sure that we go forward. We will make the connections with Office on Aging if they are just looking for more of those resources. We did apply for a grant we have not heard back with, hoping that we can cold call individuals, because a lot of the times what we see is someone will contact us in need of information, and then they don't call Office on Aging, and they don't cold call. So we're hoping to just close that gap. So I'm still waiting from the state. I haven't heard anything. They were supposed to hear something by May, and we are still waiting. So that's the biggest thing, is the
Okay.
call. You can go online. There is an online form. You can fax it. You can email us. And there's also a state number, which unfortunately I did not bring with me.
That's
I don't
okay.
have that memorized.
As long as they know in Lorain County to reach out to you and how to reach out to you. I
Yes,
think that's
and if
key
you
here.
got the wrong county, the state system is for the whole entire county. We will then refer it to the correct county and then give you the county number that you need to contact as well.
Okay, well, thank you.
So I take it from the address you gave that you and your staff are housed with Job and Family Services?
Yes, we take just a little tiny corner of us, since it's just the 7 of us right now. So yes, that is where we are currently housed at, is at the Job and Family Services.
There's a lot of space over there. You could take a little bit more.
So,
I
well, if
think
I
they need
could
more
get the
bodies.
funding, I would take a little bit more space, but unfortunately, our funding limits us to how much we can take. We are the smallest of the big 10 counties. Most of them have 25-plus investigators, and I only have the 5.
Wow.
So unfortunately, they have different funding available than we do, and so we have to do the best that we can with what we have.
Okay.
Is your funding a piece of Job and Family Services, or are you directly funded from the state?
I am funded with Title 20 block grant. That is what we use to fund us. And the last I knew, a few years ago, don't quote me on the numbers, when I had a full staff of at least 6 investigators plus myself, it was a little over $500,000 to fund us.
Guess
I
Chris
wish.
has got some work to do, huh?
So it's definitely been, we don't mean to be expensive.
No, but it's important.
Yeah,
Very important services.
Yeah.
yeah.
Can I just say a few words too? really
Yep.
quick? And this is Shandell Dusinger, he neglected
Yeah.
to.
Did I not say
Introduce
my
herself.
name? I apologize. Well, those two at least know me. Lee definitely knows
Absolutely.
me. So do you. Marty, I do apologize, sir.
No, don't worry. That's all.
Well, no, just due to the public, when you're public speaking, people are actually suing if we don't say your name and address
Yeah.
now in a public hearing. Yeah, this is.
That's the
this
reason
is
why
we
that-
do that, so.
Would you
So,
like me to state my name?
No, you
No,
didn't.
you already did.
I'm Christopher Cabot, I'm the Director at Job and Family Services, and I just want to say a few words. The work that this team is doing is amazing, and yes, they have been somewhat understaffed for some time, but we did just recently post for 2 positions yesterday. We do have someone that's retiring in October, so, we're hoping to see what we can get. So if anyone's interested that's listening, in a social worker position in Adult Protective Services, please apply. And Shandell did mention a grant we applied for, and we are going to be looking for other grants that are available. We really want to start getting upstream on a lot of things, and Adult Protective Services is one of those. Preventative work is so important in all of this, and getting ahead of situations, whether it be exploitation, abuse, whatever it is, getting ahead of that, getting families equipped to manage that is important, and really is the financially responsible way to attack this work. It's a little costly at the front end, but at the back end, you save a lot of money and a lot of heartache and a lot of pain for families if you get upstream and do a lot of work in the preventative side. So that's what we're going to be focusing on.
Okay, well, thanks for
Nice
coming in.
work.
Yeah.
So you're in the picture too?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. At 10 o'clock, we will have a CHIP final hearing. So we'll go to resolutions. Number 1, investments.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion.
Yes. I didn't want to interrupt you, but we do have a 10:30 that we'd have to stop the meeting if we're not done. So just to let everyone know that we do have a sidebar that we have to participate in. So that's it.
Okay. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Number 2, appropriations, there were none. Number 3, transfers, there were none. Number 4, advances, repayments, there were none. Number 5, requisitions.
There's 3 pages of requisitions. This is page 1. Can we have page 2? And page 3. Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Number 6, travel.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Please note a first for Lorain County in items 115, 113, and 114. We canceled the commissioners' meeting a few weeks back because my 2 colleagues were out in Las Vegas at the show with developers and movers and shakers of real estate in the United States, starting our hard push across the country for folks to come and develop and create jobs in Lorain County, Ohio. So thank you both for going.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Number 7, bills.
Page 2. And page 3.
Move to approve?
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Number 8, county commissioners may recess an executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, along with any other matters as specifically identified by motion in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 121.22G 1 through 8. Unless expressly stated otherwise during executive session, matters discussed in executive session are designated by the county commissioners confidential. Because of the confidentiality of such matters is necessary for the proper conduct of government business, any disclosure outside of executive session is prohibited by Ohio Revised Code 102.03B. While in executive session, the county commissioners may discuss and deliberate on the matters at issue, but no votes may be taken until open session resumes.
And no executive session today.
Oh, okay. Public comment on agenda items. I think we have one.
Brian already ran up. So.
He's already ready to go.
Okay.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Baker, 49822 Greystone Drive, Brownhelm Township. I want to talk about item number 10. I know Commissioner Moore brought it up on Tuesday under new business, which didn't have time to really talk about because it was a walk-on. The question that I would have, a couple questions is, if that comes up in public hearing, will there anything be brought up with the budget, where we are at with the budget of the county, where we're going to be if we're deficit spending, where we're going to be if we have a surplus, why this is needed? Because it seems like we haven't been able to get that information, and you guys know I've asked for it numerous times. So will that be brought up in there? And I know you might not answer me now, but I'm asking to have it on the record. The second thing, will this be a permanent 0.25% tax that'll go for that'll increase the deputies and increase hiring of deputies? Because I'm not opposed to anything that's gonna, for the people, I do understand that. But I do think if we're gonna go out and ask people for more money, we should educate them where we're at on spending, where we're at, and where we're going as we move forward. It seems like my days of Washington DC are back, and it's called tax and spend. This will be the second one. We already did a $5 license plate fee, and now we're coming for a 1/4%, and then we're talking about another 1/4%. So I just ask, and I hope at the public hearing, that this will be brought up. You will lay out the plan. It'll lay out everything and show where you're at in all the spending. So with that, thank you very much for your time.
Thank
this
you,
morning.
Brian.
Thanks, Brian.
Is there any old business? No? Board business. Number 9, approve and waive the reading in the County Commissioners meeting minutes of June 3rd, 2025, and there was 2 meetings that day.
Move to it. Move?
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Number 10, increasing the sales and use tax pursuant to revised code 5739.021 and 5739.026 by 1/4 of 1% for a continued period of time for the purpose of supporting criminal administrative justice services in Lorain County. This proposed additional sales and use tax will provide service to Lorain County Sheriff's Office for operation. Public hearings will be on June 17, 2025 at 4:30 p.m. and June 20th, 2025 at 10:30 a.m. to be placed on the November 5th, 2025 ballot.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have a little bit of discussion here. So,
Yes.
just to let people know how we got to this point, before there was a change in administration in 2020, 2 weeks before we took office, the previous Board of Commissioners voted, well, first of all, they voted to impose the sales tax in 2016, and then they repealed that tax, and we can debate all day on what their motives were. I believe personally it was to harm the incoming administration, which probably would have, except for, I call him Sugar Daddy Joe Biden. We got $60 million in ARPA funds. Now, I feel their intentions were inappropriate, but in the long run, you look at it, it was the best thing that ever happened to this county when they did that. The law read that if you were not allowed to reduce a sales tax or any income tax or any tax in order to use that money for lost revenue. By the fact that they did that, we were able to take a lot of handcuffs off of the Board of Commissioners and use that reduction as lost revenue, and that is how we've been moving forward. So we were at 6.75%. They took it down to 6.5%. That's $13 million a year average for the last 4 years, or really the 5th year this year. That's a lot of money, but we have done it. We have moved forward. And as Commissioner Riddell has said, we are now at the hangover stage. We've been working with our budgets for the past year. We constantly are reevaluating them. And what we're projecting out is we are now in a deficit mode for 2026. And by August, we have to, well, end of July, I believe, and Casey might have to correct me, but we do have to vote and submit is it a preliminary budget for the state of Ohio? Is that what they call it, Casey? The tax budget. So we have to do that. And that you're talking about, we only have half the year's worth of revenue, but it's all based on projections. There wasn't that much seriousness taken in regards to that, but this board does take it serious. And we plan on advising this county and every elected official what that budget is gonna look like in July. We will have discussions in regards to the budget for 26. What we noticed is that there's 2 options we got. There's 3 options probably. One, I've talked about this for 2 years, about the jail. How do we build the jail? Do we do a 1/4% sunset tax? How are we gonna do it? Well, right now, we are still going back and forth with the architects. We're talking to other entities. And the problem is we cannot have that discussion for the November election coming up because we have run out of time. We are not going to slow down on that discussion. We will still continue to have those debates. What we're looking at now is we are aware that the sheriff is here today to discuss the financials and where we're at. His department, or his office, I don't want to pay the dollar, his office and our office have been working together, and it's been a great relationship. And we personally feel that the public would rather see the money go to a specific entity instead of just trusting whoever sits in these chairs, general fund money to spend as they see fit. So that is why this is up. We're gonna have 2 public hearings. We don't have, today's we're gonna kind of more, I would believe, we'll see how much discussion we have as a board, more big picture, but we have 2 public hearings in which we will have details. We will show the projections. We will show the need. And that is probably as close as I'm gonna get, because we have to remind everybody, we represent you, we are a republic, and I feel that it's best to, if, and I'm an anti-tax guy, but if I know where the money's going, then I can make a decision as a voter on whether or not to support that organization. And with the great work that's going on at the county sheriff's office, I think we have a nice time to reevaluate how this county can move forward. So that's my little speech. If you guys would.
I would like to add a little historical perspective. The first building of the current jail was built in the mid-70s. I believe 74 is the actual year, but I could be off by a year or so. At that time, the voters wisely passed a 0.25% sales tax that still sits on the books to fund the operations of the jail. In the 90s, we doubled the size of the jail. But for whatever reason, leadership at that time did not return to the voters to get a corresponding increase in the operating budget. And I don't think we have to worry about the numbers in this particular case, because if you double the size of the jail and you don't double the budget, we all know what that means. And so from that point on, the sheriff's department has had to be supported by the general fund, where it competes for funding with, like our guest today, children's services. It competes with job and family services. It competes with the courts. It competes with the prosecutor's office, and has become, over the years, as many of us will remember who read the media regularly, it became a battle for dollars. And sometimes the sheriff's department won, and sometimes the sheriff's department didn't. I would suggest that the current condition of the jail is due largely to those competitions for dollars, so that there was dollars that didn't go where they needed to go. But that's a different discussion for a different day. At this point, I think Commissioner Moore has pointed out, and I want to draw attention to the numbers. The 0.25% sales tax is approximately $13 million. And if you look at our records over the 4 years that we were involved with the ARPA, we were taking about $12 to $13 million a year out of the ARPA money and using it to replace the money that was no longer there for the 0.25%. So we were living with this. We knew it was coming, and that day is here. And so all of the money has to be spent now from ARPA. Most of it has been. So as our budget will reflect for 26, we need to be aware of the fact that our jail is consuming about $13 million a year of general fund money that should have been amended years ago when the size of the jail was doubled. But this is our attempt to get everything caught up, and the numbers all work. There's no smoke and mirrors here. There's no new news. This money is already being spent to support the jail, and it needs to continue to be allocated. The desire of this Board of Commissioners is to establish permanent funding for the jail that does not have to compete with other good projects. It doesn't need to compete with that, and this is a significant piece of what this board started to do in 2022, which is public safety. It's radio communications, it's 911, it's EMA, all of those have received attention. The jail is the piece, the jail and the sheriff's department are that last piece of the big public safety umbrella that our constituents expect.
Couple things that are important to note. We are the 9th largest county in the state with the lowest sales tax in the state. Usually bigger counties have bigger infrastructure needs. plus with the reduction of our federal and state tax dollars coming in, we're having to do more with less. So shared services and stuff like that are very important, and we've been working on that collectively. Us being with the lowest, between those two items there alone, we are at a great point where we do need to do something to help our safety forces. And unfortunately, it's not something easy for all of us to look at.
Yeah, just to correct, this is basically to help out the sheriff's office as a whole. We already have a sales tax that's for the jail only. That money has to be spent on jail only. This is more for the sheriff's office so that they can operate, and everyone has seen some of the good work that's going on out there, so they can operate not only the jail, but also the road patrols and all the other, a lot of activities. And I'm hoping that the 2 public hearings that we're going to have, and we're trying to get this in early enough so that we can go out into the communities, we can go out and educate and show people the need. But what the public, by statute, we have to have 2 public hearings, which we will have, and we will lay out all the facts, we will lay out all the needs, and it is my opinion that I believe our county has always taken care of our law enforcement people every time that there is a need. And so I don't know if this is a good segue to introduce our sheriff. If you'd like to have a few words with the sheriff and his team, would like to come up, it's up to you.
Thank you, Commissioners. We appreciate the opportunity that you've given us today to answer any questions and also to present a very brief high-level view of where the current state of the budget is right now. And with that, Chief Zach, as I've mentioned her name several times when we've been in meetings, Chief is the one who actually architects the budget for the Sheriff's Office, and Commissioner Waddell will collect our $4 from you after the end of the meeting. So, but at this time,
We were kicking them, just so you know.
all right. At this time, I'll introduce Chief
I'm
Zach.
always happy to pay my fair share.
Absolutely. Chief Zach.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Thank you for the opportunity to present a high-level forecast of the Lorain Sheriff's Office 2026 budget. This discussion is part of a larger strategy to stabilize long-term funding, one that prioritizes public safety without leaning into politics. The Sheriff's Office is and always will be a nonpartisan agency. Our responsibility is to serve and protect every resident of Lorain County with integrity, accountability, and efficiency. That mission doesn't shift based on political cycles. It depends on practical support and responsible stewardship. Under Sheriff Hall's leadership, we've taken deliberate steps to increase transparency and discipline in our budget process. We've scrutinized every division in the Sheriff's Office, line by line, to ensure we are not overfunding one area while undersupporting another. Wasteful or legacy spending has been identified and addressed. We're not just maintaining, we're modernizing, prioritizing, and making every dollar count. That's why this conversation about the 0.25% sales tax matters. While modest in scope, it creates a broader and more reliable funding source to support essential public services for Lorain County residents. This isn't about politics, it's about numbers, service delivery, and long-term future for countywide safety. Today's just an overview. We'll be back with detailed breakdowns, line item projections, but we want you to know we're not just asking for funding. We've done the hard work internally first. We've held ourselves accountable, and we will continue to show you and the public that we are responsible fiduciaries. The overall budget for the Sheriff's Office in '25 is approximately $30,370,605. Of that, $13,653,178 comes from the sales tax dedicated to jail operations. That leaves over $16 million currently supported by the general fund. In '26, our projected budget is expected to increase to $32.5 million due to contractual obligations. That proposed sales tax could generate up to $13 million in dedicated revenue, easing pressure on the general fund and strengthening the county's ability to invest in other core services. While it's not fully funding the Sheriff's Office, it represents a meaningful and measurable improvement supporting public safety without adding instability elsewhere, and it's a permanent answer to the Sheriff's Office funding. Thank you for your continued partnership and leadership.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to the public hearings. I think we're gonna have a lot more, longer discussions and more details, I'm sure, at that point.
Absolutely.
So,
I'm well prepared.
I know you.
You're doing a fabulous job out there.
Yeah, yeah.
And a final
Jack
note to
is
the
too.
chief's point is that for the permanent funding of the sheriff's office, if Mr. Riddell keeps saying department, that'll be another permanent funding source. too. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time today.
Well, from the office of the commissioner to the office of the sheriff.
You start calling us the department, we'll collect our bucks back.
Thank you all very much.
Good.
Well, thank you for coming in.
And as Commissioner Gallagher pointed out, thank you, Sheriff. As Commissioner Gallagher pointed out, we do not put Lorain County at a disadvantage to our neighbors with this 1/4%. Even with the 1/4% when it was here before, we were amongst the lowest in the state. And we are reminded, and it will come out, there'll be a campaign, there'll be a dissemination of information, there'll be public hearings. This is not just 2 hearings and move off into the sunset. This is going to be a 90-day process to make sure that everybody has all the information, all the questions answered that they need to make a vote of their conscience. And we're reminded that by being the lower sales tax, that we generate some money in the Lorain County, that some of this is paid for by people who aren't here. So this is a very fair tax to the taxpayers of Lorain County. Those who purchase a little pay a little, those who purchase a lot pay a little more, and those who don't live here but come here to buy, they pay their share as well.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
We'll go into the public hearing now. Garvin, Community Development, regards to the final hearing, and I think Kleinfelder's here too, is she not? Okay.
There she is. Is there another?
Good morning, Commissioners. Today we have the final hearing for our CHIP PY 25 application. This morning, Lauren Falcone, the principal of the local Kleinfelder office, is here to detail to you the proposed budget that we will be submitting to the state. Lauren?
Great, thank you. Thanks, Garvin. Thank you for having me here today. As you know, we're working with Garvin and Michael and the department on getting the CHIP application done by June 25th. And I'm Lauren Falcone with Kleinfelder. My address is 5201 Levis Commons, Suite 5201 in Perrysburg, Ohio. I'm actually local. I'm in Westlake. But this is our 3rd public hearing today for your CHIP program, Community Housing Impact and Preservation. It's a grant through the state of Ohio, which you're familiar with. You have a current one open right now, and you've had many in the past. Just want to go over the activities that are going to be in that application. And you also have some partner jurisdictions. You'll be working with the cities of Amherst, North Ridgeville, Oberlin, and also Sheffield Lake. We're doing private owner rehab. We're asking for $928,000 of CHIP home funds and $199,000 of home private PI funds. So that'll assist 15 owner-occupied households at an average of $81,879 per unit. That includes approximately 20% of project soft costs. The state maximum for POR or private owner rehab is $85,000. All partners are contributing home housing program income for this activity for a total of $1,228,199. So Lorain County is at $15,990. Amherst is at $106,795. North Ridgeville is at $170,001, and Oberlin is at $3,537, and Sheffield Lake is at $3,876. So this private owner rehab actually provides full rehabilitation services to bring properties up to current state residential rehabilitation standards, or what we call RRS. This will include appropriate lead-based paint assessment based on the age of the property, built prior to 1978, if necessary. Recipients of private owner rehabilitation funds may be assisted with optional relocation due to lead-based paint work. Relocation funds may be used for nominal lodging, meals, and transportation costs, and assistance will be in the form for this private owner rehab in 0%, 5-year, 100% declining or forgivable loans. The county and its partnering cities are combining available home housing program income, PI, with CHIP funds as required by ODOD, which is Ohio Department of Development, to ensure sufficient funds for rehab projects to meet current ODOD RRS. And ODOD requires use of the housing PI before drawing the CHIP home funds. However, ODOD does permit $1,000 CHIP home funds per unit to be drawn and combined with available PI until all PI is expended. PI is anticipated to be spent with the respective partner jurisdiction. So that's the first activity, home private owner rehab. Does anyone have any questions on that? Okay. We'll skip to the next one, which is home repair. That's $480,000 in CHIP CDBG funds, and this will assist 16 owner-occupied households at an average of $30,000 per unit, and that includes approximate average of 25% soft cost. The state's maximum for home repair is $30,000 per unit, and to address one or two health or safety concerns in the house. So some of the examples would include plumbing, electrical, heating, roof, accessibility, and that assistance will be in the form of grants, so no repayment is required. It's also available to owners of mobile homes. So those are the two activities that will go in with your CDBG application. So just to summarize, for program year 2025, you'll have private owner rehab at $928,000, and then including housing program income from all the partners we just talked about, that'll be $300 and $199. So that's 15 homes for an average of $81,879. So that's your private owner, and then your owner home building rehab will be $480,000 with the admin, and that's actually 16 units at $30,000 average, and then the admin, including fair housing, is about $192,000, and that's 12% of the $1.6 million. So your total proposed CHIP program will be about $1.9 million. So that's a pretty substantial program if you look at the other programs in the state of Ohio. So we're expecting you, as the commissioners, to pass a resolution for submittal no later than June 17th, and then the CHIP application is due to the state of Ohio by Wednesday, June 25th. And that goes through their new system. It used to be called Oceans, and now it's called Salesforce. So it goes through actually an online portal. As far as Lorain County income limits, so the income limits, we look at median family income. So we look at how many people are in the house, and then we look at 50% of the income, which we consider very low income, or low income, which is 80% of that median family income. So I have numbers here I'll read to you. For the very low income, a one-person household is $35,050. For a two-person household, it's $38,900. For a three-person household, it's $43,750. For a four-person household, it's $48,600. For a five-person household, it's $52,500. For a six-person household, it's $56,400. For a seven-person household, it's $60,300, and then for eight-person, it's $64,200. So that's considered very low income, 50% of your median family income. As far as low income, which is 80%, one person would be $54,450, two-person would be $62,200, three-person $70,000, four-person $77,750, five-person $84,000, six-person $90,200. Seven-person, $96,450, and then eight-person, $102,650,000. So those are the income limits. When Brandy gets the application, she checks against the most current to make sure homeowners are eligible before she processes the applications. And then as far as time frame, I just mentioned to you that you were passing legislation before the 17th. June 25th, the applications are due to the state. Between June and November, it usually takes some time for the state to review and rank the applications, so obviously you're competing against the state of Ohio for this money, the entire state of Ohio. December, small cities. December 1st would be actually when they're supposed to award the grant, so you would actually find out if you were successful on December 1st of this year. And then between January and March of next year, the consultant would have to do an environmental review record, which we know takes about 3 months, and that's just making sure that the projects meet the environmental review record standards at ODOT. And then between March and April, expected release of funds. And then January through December of 2026, you would advertise for the program. So again, inviting property owners to apply, inviting contractors to participate. And then the applications will be processed starting April of 2026. So as you know, these projects and programs take a long time. So really, property owners couldn't apply until next April. So April 26th through December of 27 until the funds are running out, or until the applications are processed and the projects will be processed until the funds run out. So all construction must be done by February 28 of 2028. All drawdowns from the ODOT must be done by March 31st of 2028, and then grant completed final performance report April 30th, 2028. So again, it's almost a little bit over a 2-year program that we're applying for. Let's see, a couple other just kind of caveats here. The 2025 CHIP program grantees must complete their programs according to the following deadlines. All activities except audit and balance of administration must be completed by the end of the 26th month, so following the grant agreement date. So things could be delayed a little bit if the state releases the grant funds a little bit later than, or releases the grant funds or releases the grant agreements a little bit later than projected. All drawdown requests must be submitted to OCD by the end of the 27th month, and all funds must be committed and expended in accordance with the timeline established in the program milestones, and the final performance report must be submitted by the end of the 28th month. Audits of this grant must be conducted in accordance with 2 CFR 200 and Policy Notes 20-01, Grant Operations and Financial Management Policy and Procedures. So as you know, when you accept CDBG money, you have to follow all their rules and regulations. That was a lot. I have 2 pages if you want me to submit it to you.
Yes, please do.
Yes, and if you have any
Help
questions.
with the minutes.
I can take questions.
Are there any questions from the public? This is a public hearing this morning.
This is what you gave us already.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got 'em.
just in
Thank
case you
you.
want another hard copy,
Okay,
yeah.
thank you. Mr. Greenspan, anything to add to that? No, sir. Okay, thank you.
Great,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much. Take care.
I would make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Okay, back to our regular meeting.
Right. Under sanitary engineer, number 11, entering into sanitary sewer improvement agreement with Pullet Homes of Ohio LLC for Del Webb Hickory Green subdivision number 4 in Columbia Township. Upon completion, the new sanitary sewer will be located within an easement granted to Lorain County sanitary engineer, and future maintenance and ownership of the newly constructed sanitary sewer will be Lorain County sanitary engineer.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
12, application Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District, 7th Amendment to the Service Agreement Number 3162 for inclusion within the district of the certain unincorporated territory of Lorain County located in Columbia Township.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes, Bob, do you have anything to add?
What this is, Commissioners, is as we expand sewers into the unsewered areas in Columbia Township, we have to modify our original agreement with the sewer district in Cuyahoga County that they'll agree to accept those flows.
And we're working with Northeast Ohio Sewer because our sewer network was not yet sufficient for the folks that are out there developing.
Now, the regional sewer district, they supply strictly the treatment. We own all the sewers, so their agreement is that they will accept that flow from our sewers to their interceptor sewers, they call it.
Very good.
Anything further? Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Under Stormwater Management, 13, accept the report of the Foster Ditch Restoration LaGrange Township from Lorain County Engineer. This ditch will be cleaned and drainage system reconstructed by excavating and shaping the ditch, removing obstructions such as sediment, trees, vegetation, and deteriorated private ditch crossings in order to restore the adequate drainage and provide access with a new permanent easement for county maintenance. This hearing will be held on July 22nd at 4:30.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
14, approve a change order to Ed Brody and Company LLC Sandusky in the amount not to exceed $2,453.96 for the Sheffield Township Russell Avenue Storm Sewer Improvements. This change order is due to discovery of buried water line manhole under the existing pavement and a different catch basin due to the proximity of a gas line, additional pumping of water out of the basin and lines, revised layout of site, and net deductions for material and substitutions in the field. This contract is $105,530.52 to be paid from the stormwater account.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Engineer 15, authorize engineer to enter into LPA Federal Local Let Project Agreement with ODOT for the Durkee Road Safety Improvement Project in Eaton Township. Estimated cost of safety improvement is $406,000, and federal funding would be made available 80% in state fiscal year 2027.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
16, finding that public convenience and welfare requires a replacement of Neff Road Bridge number 0191 in Grafton Township in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 555.06 in excess of $50,000.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
17, finding that public convenience and welfare requires a replacement of Stewart Road culvert number 0242 in Rochester Township in accordance with the Ohio Revised Code 555.06 in excess of $50,000.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
18, approve and enter in a subdivider agreement with EWGC Development Group LLC for Emerald Woods subdivision numbers 12 and 13 in Columbia Township. Subdivider has submitted proof of ownership, copy of its commitment from Stewart Title Guarantee Company, including evidence of tax payment, certificate of insurance, its engineer's estimate of construction cost, and copies of the cover sheet of the engineering plans and specifications. Subdivider agrees to bear all costs and expenses of the improvements contemplated by the subdivider agreement and to pay all plan review, inspection, and testing fees.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
19, approve and enter in a subdivider agreement with Riverside Trail LLC for Riverside Trail subdivisions number 1 in Columbia Township. Subdivider has submitted proof of ownership, a copy of its title commitment from Stewart Title Guarantee Company, including evidence of tax payments, certificate of insurance, engineer's estimate of construction costs, and copies of the cover sheet of the engineering plans and specifications. Subdivider agrees to bear all costs and expenses of the improvements contemplated by the subdivider agreement and to pay all plan review, inspection, and testing fees.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Discussion.
Yes, this is a subdivider agreement. Many of you remember this one, showing how diligent these processes are. This particular subdivision has been in the works, negotiating, litigation, so forth, for a little over 6 years. The developer is not in the resolution, but it's David Gill, a local developer. And I just bring the attention to it that while these things, it looks today like there's a lot of home building activity, which there is, that this stuff took a lot of time and has been in the works for a long time.
Commend them for being persistent
And patient.
and patient.
Anything further?
Nope.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Number 20, under the prosecutor, retaining law firm Myers Roman Friedberg and Lewis LPA to serve as legal counsel for Lorain County Board of Commissioners pursuant to RC 305.14 to represent and defend members of Lorain County Board of Commissioners as parties in Lorain County Court of Common Pleas Case 24 CV 21 1448.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Yes, this particular one is not, this is not a new case. This is an existing case, and we have exhausted the coverage of the insurance, and so now we must pick it up and take it from here to resolution, which hopefully will be soon.
Let's hope so.
Anything further?
Nope.
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Under the treasurer, number 21, and these dates are gonna change because July 4th is a holiday, so they don't print, so I'll read the correct dates. Advertise notice of applications under the Uniform Depository Act from any financial institute legally eligible which may desire to submit a written application to become a public depository of public funds of Lorain County as provided by the Uniform Depository Act, Section 135.33 of the Ohio Revised Code. In compliance with the Ohio Revised Code 135, contracts must be renewed for public depository bid requests and fund limits effective August 23rd, 25 through August 22nd, 2029. Highest amount of active monies which may be deposited at any given time during the contract will not exceed $425 billion, right? Yeah. Notice will be in the Chronicle and Journal on July 3rd and 10th at 2025 and open at 2 p.m. on July 18th.
Move to approve.
Second?
Discussion.
Want to discuss or no?
Now, this is,
We're just going out to bid to allow people to,
people to make offers of what they'll pay us to
hold on to our money, I guess.
Stole our money from the time we collect it to the time we need to spend it.
It's nice that we have a local bank that participates in this too, so.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
You have a,
I don't know. He said he's got like an hour report.
You have 60 seconds because that's all Karen took when you were gone.
You chastised me so bad last week, or
Okay.
on Tuesday, that could do an hour. But
Okay.
Casey, why don't you start, because we've got some news on the dog kennel and some things that are happening over there.
Yeah, sure. So just wanted to close the loop on a project that we've been working on for quite some time. As of last week, over the dog kennel, they're now able to accept credit card payments, swipe, chip, tap, all the things, mobile payment, in addition to obviously cash and checks. So that is a project we've been working on some time, and that was a hurdle for the kennel. So I wanted to get that out for the public, that they are now able to accept credit card payments, and also anybody who would like to donate to the dog kennel who has is being pushed to do that. They are able to do that through the dog kennel website. There will be a link that can take them to, again, a site to process credit card payment to accept donations. So again, just wanted to close that loop and bring notice to the public about that.
In addition to that, I want to bring you up to speed on the substantial project of our communication towers. The fairgrounds is complete except for the power going into the buildings, and they're working to connecting that site at this point. If you look at French Creek and Northern Ohio Water, all the footers and everything have been installed, and actually they're erecting the steel at French Creek. As soon as they finish that erection, they're going to move over to Northern Ohio. And the Oberlin and the Grafton Road site, which is on the prison closest to 83, there's going to be they're pouring the concrete for the new building because we have to enlarge the size over there. And the state is continuing to work with Crown Castle to complete the contracts over there, which we look to see that being done in July. So the whole project is online, and we continue to move forward. And that completes my report today.
Thank you.
clerk's report.
Tuesday, June 10th at 9 a.m. we'll have an investment advisory meeting. Board correspondence.
Move to waive the reading.
I'd like
Second.
Discussion.
Couple things. Yesterday, I was in Avon Lake for the Citizen of the Year. Chuck Fye became the Citizen of the Year. Long lifetime volunteer and donating his precious time. And Project of the Year was Ian Swigert at, if you go to Veterans Memorial, Veterans Memorial Park, you will see these signs up there discussing things about Lake Erie. So it's a very good historical notification there. And also the Garden Club is celebrating their 95th year in Avon Lake, all from yesterday.
Anything further? Commissioner Moore?
Aye.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher?
Aye.
Is there any new business?
Yes, we do have new business, but I'm afraid it may take some time, and I think we're at a moment that we may have to, unless we can just.
I think we can hit this.
Can we hit it?
We can hit it.
Okay, we're gonna do, the sheriff has a resolution in regards to swapping out some assets. If you want, can you do it in 15 seconds, Sheriff?
Yes, I can.
Because we have a,
We regret the time frame because this is such a neat resolution, so.
you have to read it?
Do you have
What?
to read the resolution first?
Yeah, read the resolution.
In the matter of entering an agreement with Morgan County Sheriff's Office for the trade of a 2021 Ford Explorer Police AWD for a 2012 Hoovercraft and trailer.
So be it.
Second. There we go.
Commissioner Riddell?
Aye.
Commissioner Moore?
No, it's discussion now.
Oh, I'm sorry, discussion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Very quickly, we were approached by the Morgan County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Jimmy Fisher. Morgan County has a population of 15,000. They have 8 deputies, including their sheriff, no jail. They use a regional jail, and they have 4 vehicles, including the sheriff's pickup truck and 3 other cruisers that they normally get from other departments that the sheriff said are too dangerous for the other departments to drive. They give them the free to the Morgan County Sheriff's Office. Over the course of the last 2 weeks, they had one and then two vehicles break down. The vehicle that the sheriff had reached out to was a 2011 Dodge Charger with 210,000 miles on it that was too expensive to fix. So he was reaching out to all the other sheriffs in the state. He sweetened the pot by stating that we would supply a hovercraft with a trailer on it. We had spoken with our EMA and some of our fire personnel in regards to providing rescue support to that for ponds, frozen ponds in the wintertime, lake area, et cetera, and especially if somebody with a disability walks away from a home and we have a search and there is a water structure that we have to quickly tow a craft to at that time and search. Both vehicles, the trailer, the hovercraft, and our 2021 police cruiser are all valued about the same monetarily, so we figured not only was a fair trade, but it's also helping a county that does not have a budget like ours and can't even afford to buy more than one new car every few years. So that was our request to put that through, and I thank the commissioners for considering that, and I know Sheriff was here today from Morgan County, and their commissioners would also thank you for this consideration.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Win-win.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I,
Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Dell.
aye,
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Okay.
done, Jack.
I think at this time, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session to discuss legal and potential settlement. That's my motion.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Discussion. Commissioner Moore.
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
Commissioner Dell.
Aye.
We're late by 2 minutes, guys.
Commissioners have reconvened from executive session.
I guess we still have new business, I think we're under when we left. So I do have
Todd just came.
something, today is June 6th. It's the 81st anniversary of D-Day. And on Sunday, I'm going to South Amherst to commemorate and honoring Michael Gronsky, who was a World War II veteran from the South Amherst area. He's having a 100th birthday celebration. There'll be a parade, and it's going to be, it's kind of nice to honor our World War II vets. There's not too many of them left. So today is the 100th or 81st anniversary of D-Day, and we'll be honoring Michael Gronsky on Sunday as a board. All three of us signed the proclamation. So I just want to at least acknowledge that. And that is all. And we already discussed the sheriff. Unfortunately, it was quick, but we did that. So I think that I don't have any other new business. Do you guys have
Just a
any?
comment on D-Day stuff. Thanks to all those that it served.
Yep.
And let's all remember those that are not with us any longer.
Yep. Anything else?
That's it.
Any public comment?
Move to adjourn?
Second?
Commissioner Dell,
Aye.
Commissioner Moore,
Aye.
Commissioner Gallagher.
Aye.
We're adjourned.